look for tellable stories that are physically tellable, and from a plot point of view, that which is at least pliable.
Welcome back to the Life Plot Podcast with your host, Mario Benitez. Man, it's good to be back. Even more fucking good than you would imagine. Happy to fucking be here. Kind of heavy to start this off with, but recently I had a brush with death. And it was spooky as shit, man. And, you know, when I say I'm happy to be here, I really am. It's weird when you get caught up with, you know, get hit with the idea of impermanence, I guess. And it finally really does hit you and you get these scares. You start thinking about all the philosophy you read about and all the fucking people that had some type of wisdom. And, you know, they always tell you about respecting the now and always trying to live in the now. And that shit is the truth. It's really hard to do because we're always caught in this loop of being built by our past, you know, motivating our presence, or thinking about the future and where the journey's leading to, you know, kind of steering the present as well. And none of that shit really matters, you know. It really is about the now, because you ain't guaranteed nothing. And it's crazy to start thinking like this, but that's how you gotta think. And I guess, you know, you'll get there once you get these realizations too, of when something smacks you in your face. But I'm just fucking happy to be here. I haven't done the podcast in a long time, and I just wanted to come back with a dope, good conversation, very free. And I brought in my cousin, Jose Ortiz. Jose's been on the podcast. He used to be the drummer of my band. Now he's, you know, killing it, doing videography, production, and a couple other awesome projects. So he came in, we talked about some current events, and about a future project we'll be working on together. So thank you for returning. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, always, I love when you press play on this thing. It fucking means a lot. And, yeah, it's good to be back. This is Jose Ortiz.
Biscuits.
Biscuits?
But ain't they shit spelled differently, too?
Nah, it's not. How would you...
Biscuits? In London? It's like with a Q-U-E-T-T-E. I swear to God.
Nah, it's not spelled like that, bro.
Google.
I think that's racist.
London somehow, right?
Biscuits is spelled. I think it's just regular biscuits. We roll it. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Now how you spell biscuits in London?
London biscuits spelling.
It's regular spelling, man.
Nah, bro.
I don't think it's like Beuiskeets. Biscuits. Biscuits.
Okay, well that's not important now, guys. No, it's definitely spelled like a regular biscuit.
Yeah, we're gonna start this off with smoking because that's how we should start.
Word.
And it's a question for you, like, cause dude, you grew up with like me and like everybody around you just getting super fucking lit, bro.
Yeah.
Like drunk and high, and it took you. You were straight edge, like almost the longest out of anybody I know.
Yeah.
You lasted with the shit.
I lasted. You know what the thing is for me, right? Straight edge. I was like this before I knew what straight edge was, right? For me, once I entered the hardcore scene, that became like a real easy way just to, that annoying conversation when people try to pass you shit and you have to explain to them, oh, I don't smoke or don't. Oh, he's straight edge. Cool. That's it. Motherfuckers go away. Because you have annoying motherfuckers like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That try to always put, I'm going to get you drunk before the night. Yeah, I'm going to slap the shit out of you.
Oh, he's straight edge. He listens to Tyrant.
He likes Throwdown. Fuck this shit. Nah, but I always thought smoking would be the one thing I would do. Drinking, I still would never do. Smoking, it's fine.
What did you find from it? Like, because I know, like, my experiences with it, I have one of the, like, I have the regular relaxation.
Yeah.
You know, after a day of fucking work or anything.
Yeah.
Trying to get my mind right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have, like, the creative side. Like, have you found, like, I feel like it's helped you more creatively, too.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely gotten way more bugged out. Like, I've edited videos while under the influence. And it's different. Like, simple edits. I see things that I wouldn't normally see before. It sounds stupid, but the truth is, it just has my mind constantly going.
Yeah.
Once I want to get into a certain zone, the ideas that I be having are ridiculous. and I don't even know that was always there, I guess.
But it is a trigger, man.
Oh, yeah.
I find it with comedy at least, like
absolutely, especially with comedy.
With comedy, sometimes I get high, and then the connections, bro. I be like, I don't know how, but it just connects shit. Like, I could talk about Shakespeare and hood shit. Like, I don't know why these random ass connections will come about, or I just start finding shit that is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
it is like, I'm like, it's there normally for me, you know. But being high, there's just something else to it, you know. Definitely a different experience.
This probably still looks bugged out to all of you, right?
No, it looks fucking weird.
The viewers at home are like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
what's going on? Motherfuckers thought I was innocent.
Now we smoking crack.
You was wrong. I'm from Harlem, baby. I'm destined to be a crackhead, baby.
Hey, you.
Is the audio visual guy gonna partake?
No.
He's fucking
Straight edge.
This is ghetto parks.
Are you straight edge, bro?
I'm calling the cops on you guys.
Fucking straight edge dudes, man. He's cool with that Manny guy from Miami. You know how straight edge that motherfucker
when
is.
I think about straight edge motherfuckers.
Shout out to Manny. I love you, baby.
It was you and actually Manny in my head.
Really? But that's the thing. At shows, they would X you up. They had to. That's how they could tell. That wasn't me. I would never be that.
Yeah, you
I
were
never
always very anti.
I don't fucking play.
That. I just don't do that.
Yeah, I just don't do that shit. This is just for personal reasons. You dig what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with like a scene. Like I said before, hardcore. That's how I moved. No one could really get me to do some shit I didn't want to do, and I never cared for it. 2020 was a year, and I said, nah, 2021 gotta be the year that it happens.
What like, do you think it just sparked that? Because you were always the guy, like, whenever we were getting high, you were, yo, spark another one.
Yeah, I always, like, influenced.
You were always the sober one. Like, yo, you guys, I think you just liked the jolliness.
Yeah, I mean, it was
we were all high.
Everybody vibes differently when everybody's in the same zone. And I always tried my best to make sure I didn't throw anybody off course. I've seen dudes tripping on shrooms and a bunch of shit, but truth is, I don't want to be the fucking sore thumb. Oh, you guys are tripping? You know, like that fucking dickhead?
Yeah.
You know, you guys should really chill out with that. That motherfucker.
You guys are taking it way too far.
You know, this is the third weekend in a row that you guys smoke. Man, Mario rolled 2 blunts. I saw him with my own eyes. Motherfuckers start snitching. She's corny.
He's gonna smoke 2. It's a work day.
Yeah, it's 2. Mario? It's Wednesday and it's 7 p.m. You have work in the morning. That's the type of shit. I remember. Now we won't even get into that, but that shit caused some fights before.
Yeah.
Like that shit. It's. I'm not a preacher. I don't like telling people what the fuck to do.
Do you when you think about like, because you know our experiences and shit with like psychedelics, is that something that ever like you think you would consider? Which to me, I think there's levels to the psychotropic like experience of the mind. Right. I think marijuana, when you get comfortable with that and get comfortable with what like sometimes what paranoia could be from it, or like hit it again, get right.
Get right.
But yeah, those things, those different levels of being high, like on weed.
Yeah.
It's like the next step to me, which makes sense, is psilocybin mushrooms. Because I feel like, but you got to be really comfortable where all the places your mind could go with marijuana. Because sometimes it can go to negative places.
That's what I've heard. And given the fact that this is so new to me, this is still under a year. For those that don't know, I'm 37. I went a long time without doing none of this shit. But like I said, I've come from a background of, you know, me and Mario are a family, so, and we're all close friends here. We come from backgrounds where shit like liquor and drugs plays a major role in some wild family shit.
Yeah.
And some wild...
I think in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
You know? If you got a big enough family, one of your uncles is a fucking crackhead.
Especially if you... Listen to me, man.
At least coming up out here, you know? Like,
you grow up anywhere in the vicinity of 86th Street to 191st. Nah, to Dyson.
Yeah.
To the nigga.
From 86th Street to Connecticut, bro.
If you go from Columbus Circle, if you go from Columbus, or my bad, you go from Columbus Circle to New Jersey, you find about 1 billion Puerto Rican crackheads.
Yeah, it happens.
I mean, this is just a regular upbringing, I guess.
I noticed though what's funny is like, so obviously uncles and shit, like, you know, they had problems with drugs, but it was like real deal.
Yeah.
Holyfield drugs, bro. The knockout drugs. You know what I mean?
That Manteca.
That fucking, that serious
that
butter,
Mike
bro.
Tyson in a jar?
But then I start, you know, I've been like super high before, right? And I'm playing around with my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, I'm on Manteca uncles now. Like, I'm that uncle now.
Hey, papi, yo.
Yeah.
Hey, papi, come here. Why you moving so fast? Come on, let me look at you. I haven't seen you.
Tú estás creciendo, boy.
Mira, que tú estás grandote. Mira, esto es un hombre. Yo, you remember those awkward moments where you come across that family member you only see like twice a year?
Yeah.
And they want to be all over you and shit, and you just there like...
Make you embarrassing you, bro.
You just want to go back to the room and
play Nintendo.
Exactly. Get the fuck out of here. This aunt that I used to look forward to not fucking with some family members. Like, yo, I can't wait till I'm old enough to tell this motherfucker to get the fuck out of here. This motherfucker ain't shit.
But then you become that family member.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's so funny how it just evolves.
Yeah,
but,
you know how I know I became that family member? Since we're on the topic of tecatos and people doing drugs. I went to work today and I forgot that I left my hoodie in the main part of my house, right?
Yeah.
It just smelled like weed.
Oh,
crazy.
Shit.
And I went to work like that and I was like, damn.
Becoming that guy?
I used to be the guy that used to be like, hey, you guys need to...
You need...
My jacket...
I got Febreze, guys.
My jacket was out there. You guys still smoked. Nobody even brought it to my room. That's happened before. I remember getting that game for that shit. Back when I was like, yo, you guys left my show. I got serious. I was like, yo, Gabe, let me talk to you. Let me holler at you real quick.
Yo, I remember you used to be paranoid not being high.
Yeah.
I thought about a character because of that. It was Juggles the Paranoid Clown. His name is Jay because you would be mad goofy but type paranoid.
This nigga's... That's how family does you, bro. This nigga's first acting role for me was a clown.
Juggles the Paranoid Clown. And like you always just asking people how they like the animal balloons and shit.
Changing my Instagram handle to Juggles.
Juggles.
As soon as this shit is done.
Yeah, which side you passing me? Don't pass me that.
I don't know what I'm passing. That shit don't even look like anything. Figure it out, my dude. You got that?
Shit is the roach, man.
Yeah, nah, that shit is still pumping. That shit got some energy left.
We were going back to the creative side, right? Mm-hmm. Talking about that. Lately, you've been dabbling with a lot of things lately.
Yeah.
You know? What's up with that? Like, what's your plans with that and shit?
Well, right now, I have a few things I'm working on. Over the summer, I headed out to Chicago, and I saw some of the first bigger shows they had back out there. We have some close ties to Chicago. Everybody out there is pretty much family to us. I went out there. I wanted to do a piece on. I saw that Sonny Hate 56 was going to be out there also. Our mutual friend Len had hooked it up one time. He threw us in a group chat, and this is like 2 years ago when I first started Streets of Talking. And I had told him I was interested. I'm like, man, you always do the bands, and you do an excellent job of doing the bands. Somebody needs to do you doing the bands, because I didn't at the time. Like, I didn't see a lot of that, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, fuck it. Like, this was a perfect opportunity. I messaged him, said, hey, man, I'm going to be out there too. That was kind of like the first time I decided that I wanted to take the page more in a band direction, more like kind of like a noisy type feel. Documenting different aspects. Yeah, I don't want to like box myself in or whatever, but I feel like noisy and shit like that, they approach bands that have a buzz. Like, I could see a band like a Turnstile or a Gulch even, who's like exploded, appearing on a noisy documentary. But there's a lot of dope ass bands from all over the place, all over the country, that are not anywhere near as recognized, and feel that they could use that same approach, that same level of quality. Not saying that I'm noisy by myself, obviously I'm not, but I try my best to deliver something that they can
you do good pieces.
be happy with, you know. So That was kind of like I've been doing that. It's really just been. I have something I'm working on with Gabe over here. I don't know. People probably can't see Gabe, but
They can.
oh, they fucking Gabe Gabo baby with the GFE shirt. So he was, for those who know, guitarist to Point Pleasant. So I have a project. I'm kind of not. I don't want to give out too many details, but it just has a lot to do with toxic relationships, and I'm kind of filming like a short film / music video for that. And me and Gabe are curating a song for it.
Is it you? Would you say you're trying to get back into music? Because I feel like that's been a resurgence, at least amongst our friends group.
Yeah,
kind of. I know it's hard to do.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I mean, I work
almost impossible with scheduling.
Yeah, I work crazy hours, like so I definitely want to go back to music. It's never been something I wanted to leave, really. For a while, it just became impossible, and people aren't on the same page. You know what I mean? But now, for sure, like I could see that happening because everybody's on some shit where it's like, we're not teenagers no more trying to scrap up change to get studio time. We're grown men with fucking careers and real shit going on out here. You know, people are dabbling in ways that there's a lot going on this side. So everybody can make some real shit happen. Look at our boys over there in Chicago. Cuss. Kurt and Bob Lapinto got together. Fire as grunge album.
Yeah, man.
Out of nowhere.
Super fucking cool. That sound was like it's like a mixture of everything I've been listening to lately. You know?
Yeah, because I know you're a huge fan of like stuff like Black Angels, and it has those tones. Yeah, and I mean that makes sense because Bob is a big fan of that.
Yeah, Bob actually put me on to the Black Angels.
Yeah, I remember it was on the GFE, right?
Yeah, years ago. I fucking got obsessed with that band.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, we're like I was saying earlier, me and Gabe are curating that song for that project. So it's gonna be it's like a band that doesn't exist, but we're making music for this project. So it's gonna be all in house. I have like a few people involved.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
What do you think about like this whole like I don't know if it was a good joke to make, but I felt like I've been to fucking shows that had like bands calls for walls of deaths.
Yeah.
And people never. And people
I know where this is going.
People out there really to beat the shit out of each other, bro.
Listen.
And nobody ever died, bro. And then and now at Astro World, right? Yeah, I'm bringing that up a couple weeks late, but as a crowd. There's a man who's been in raucous crowds, bro. The pure neglect of everybody there is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
Because I've been in some rowdy shit. Yeah. I'm like, yo, that's next level.
Yeah, you know what it is? This whole idea, hip hop dudes want to be rockers now.
Yeah.
There was a short time where rockers wanted to be rappers, and that shit was Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Head PE, shit like that. That's a scene that never was intended to have that type of behavior. Hip hop has changed. You'll never see that type of shit, mosh pits or anything at a Conway show, a TDE show. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna see that kind of stuff there. But this is the more to me, it feels like the more alternative side of hip hop, where it's meshed with the commercial world and. He's just implementing something that he's seen, but he doesn't understand that the reason why this shit doesn't often happen at metal shows or hardcore shows is because that's organized chaos. You take a bunch of 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old college kids who don't know shit. They're just happy to be on pills and I'm going to my first hip-hop concert. You know how many people's first shows that probably was that day?
That's true, too.
Come on, son. That shit was a bunch of people who had no fucking idea, and even then... It comes down to motherfuckers behaving like animals. I don't understand how, like you said, we've been to crazy shows. I want you motherfuckers to go to that side, run into each other at full speed and kill each Yo, our intro said, all right, plan B, let's just kill each other. And then we dropped our shit. We wanted to see motherfuckers get hurt.
We've but also that was had just violence, we knew, but it wasn't,
It wasn't like that. It wasn't, it was organized. Like I said, the hardcore, if you, let us come out with some weak shit. In the hardcore scene, 2004 or 5, come out with some whack weak shit.
Yeah.
We would not have been keeping up that fucking, you know what I'm saying? That torch, carrying that torch. There's a lot of tough ass bands that came out of here, a certain style, you know what I mean? And we just felt like delivering that music a certain way. But that kind of stuff doesn't, those hardcore and metal ethics and mosh etiquette and all that shit, that doesn't apply to fucking big ass 50,000 people hip hop shows,
bro. That's some. Dude, that's some Crusade War type shit.
Bro, that's some Sparta shit.
Yeah, that's too many people.
And
man.
then I'm having a hard time. Like, it's just my fault for not it's my fault for not going 100% on like reading into it. But the footage I saw, it was people like the show was already going on, and I saw people going over a gate and people like falling over each other. But then that was happening in the floor area too, right? Like, it was happening all over the place?
Yeah, it was happening a lot of places.
That's fucking
like,
crazy.
Everybody was just pushing
750 cops? Is that true? Like, I don't even know. I heard that number. 750 cops?
I don't know all the details like that. Somebody told me that people were dancing on an ambulance.
Yeah.
That made me go like, yo, what's...
And there was somebody...
That's fucked up, bro.
Somebody in need of that ambulance.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That kind of shit's stupid. Because if you see an ambulance, you know there's either someone in it or someone needs it. It's corny. Like, that's mad... I mean, excuse me, I'm not laughing at what happened.
Yeah.
It's just absurd how people behave.
It's absurd.
It's fucking crazy.
It's fucking wild.
The ambulance came out, and then Drake came out. So everyone went wild when they saw it.
Oh, man.
An ambulance followed by Drake? They probably thought that was a part of his intro.
Yo, he was...
Like, oh, I'm about to hurt y'all. with my new song. This shit's about to kill y'all.
He's like,
yo, OVO, this new song.
It's called Ambulance.
This new song is called EMS.
Oh,
God.
That's fucking... I thought about that, too, because I saw one of the clips, and it's one of the few Travis Scott songs I do know, the upper echelon shit.
Yeah.
And when the shit was going, like, where people were getting fucked up and, like, actually passing away and shit, he dropped that song, too. And then he follows it up with Drake. Like, you just getting people are just pumped up, moshing, and just chaotic, bro.
He was doing what he was supposed to do as an artist on stage, but...
Yeah, it wasn't the right time.
That
it was
timing,
just out of control.
he didn't know. Like, there's weird. Like, there's a lot of videos of him telling people, like, hold on, wait, like... But they're trying to not show that. And I don't believe there's a conspiracy. Like, people are fucking crazy.
People that go straight to the conspiracy. Oh,
like, yo, there was 8 flames.
This was Satanists and the Diablo was there.
He was
stabbing people with heroin. And
I seen a girl on YouTube just yesterday, and that shit made me flip out. I was so tight. She came out and said that kid that died, right? He was on his father's shoulders. He was on his father's shoulders, and then at some point, you know, during the commotion, his son fell, or he let his son down, and his son was trampled. But she was trying to, like, unravel a secret. She was like, oh, you know, it doesn't make sense. Like, first he walked into Astroworld with his son, and then he had him on his shoulders. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, the kid walked in, why would he need him to hold him on his shoulders? And I'm like, yo, this kid's 9.
Yeah.
There's mad adults everywhere. You think he could see the stage?
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Like, the ignorance, that's the most basic shit. I would feel anybody understands that.
Yeah.
She was trying to spin it into, like, some crazy fucking conspiracy.
Bro, that shit has really... That thought process about anything that happens has seeped into, like, every aspect of the world.
You know what the fuck that is?
That paranoid Alex Jones, nothing is what it is. Everything was not... Some things are just what it is,
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, it bugs me out. Dude, I went to a heart doctor the other day, right? To get seen, and the lady who's checking me out, she's like the super nurse. I'm sorry, I forget the name, but
head nurse,
not the head,
like
but you know, like the like she's right under the doctor.
Right. She's HNIC.
Yeah.
Right.
But yo, she starts getting about conspiracy, and you know, she started off with just the normal weirdo shit, like, yeah, the world's crazy these days, and like she wanted to have that convo,
right?
And I'm like, oh man, she's gonna force me to talk. So I get into the convo, but it ends up getting into, like, all I remember is that she got into where she says, I don't believe in science, while she's doing like this super X-ray like cardiogram test. So I'm like, you don't believe in science? Like, what do you think this is? like you're looking through my soul right now. Like, you think this?
That was God.
Yeah.
Everything on you right now, Mario. God.
It is in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
But like that moment, I was just like, wow, even her. She was like a super QAnon.
Yeah.
Like, obviously knows her stuff, and like she's a real person.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Got a degree and shit.
Yeah.
And like, but how are you even getting swiped along this thought process, bro? It bugged me the fuck out, man.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy. In that profession, it's kind of like when you meet therapists who are crazy.
A lot,
Like-
not most. I'm not gonna say most, but a lot I have noticed have like their own problems
Psychological-
figuring out their own like their courses with different, fucking. I'm high as shit.
Do you think they're trying to figure? I think I know where you're going with this. You're saying
they're
you're
trying
saying
to
that they're trying to figure themselves out through other people.
Yes, but it's like they always usually have their own fucking problems.
Yes, unsolvable ones.
Yeah, dealing.
Not
with-
all of them.
Not all of them, but they also just, makes sense. They're all like us. Everybody does. Everybody got that fucking voice in their heads.
Yeah.
Talking to them and shit.
Right.
That fucking consciousness is. It takes us down different routes.
Yeah.
But psychologists, you would think they would get that shit figured out because they got all the words
Because
for
you
it.
got you need to. I mean, it's years and years of studying. It's understand. And like I can't even think of what it would like. I can never be a therapist because it feels like you have to be on all the time. Like
Yeah.
imagine being responsible for giving someone advice that matters. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I mean, yeah, you give advice to your friends all the time, but you know your friends.
That's a heavy job.
Yeah, you know your friends. Like, it's easy for me to give my friends advice.
Any of those jobs, like even surgeons and shit, those are heavy jobs, bro.
Yeah,
That when you really got somebody's life in your hand,
yeah,
like that's a plethora of fucking different jobs. But
Yeah.
like it's crazy how I want sometimes like because I'm not like that. Like I just go tell jokes. If I bombed and people blew up.
yeah.
I wouldn't know how to
have to
deal
be
with
funny.
that. I have to be funny,
Yeah.
like 1,000%. I could never just go fuck around with
You
the
could
scalpel
never-
jokes.
Yeah, you
Like-
can't just test the waters.
Yeah,
Right.
You got to be on.
I gotta be 100, and I gotta be everything 100%.
Oh man, imagine
That's a hard
that.
job, bro.
Shit, I don't even know what my equivalent to that is. Like if I don't, I don't know. Like I do tech shit. So
Yeah.
a computer's gonna break or something. That's
Yeah.
It's not gonna get that crazy.
In a few years when we got AI, you'll be like that guy.
Yeah, it's funny. Like all this metaverse shit. Do you understand it?
The metaverse shit?
Yeah.
I have my understandings of that whole shit like outside of the actual company going for it.
Right.
Meaning like I remember that Zuckerberg bought Oculus.
Yeah.
So it was obvious to me when he bought it, like, oh, he's gonna create like a digital realm. Like I knew that was coming for the longest.
Yeah.
And I was just everybody's trying to do that. A PlayStation Home in the future.
Yeah, the way they're talking
Everybody-
about this shit, they're talking about this like this is like when the internet first came and
Yeah.
it was like first starting to get popular.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this because I put it as an unpopular opinion because I understand the natural evolution of technology and like how people end up becoming dependent on it
Yeah.
and like this is just the natural flow and like we're always gonna go deeper into what's the new trend or whatnot. I don't think VR is gonna take off like that.
It might not.
I actually because I've been in the PlayStation VR helmet and I understand that soon. Give it another 20, 30 years, it'll be indistinguishable from reality sometimes. Maybe more, maybe a little more, but one day it will be.
Yeah.
Still not going to want to be in it. I just don't think it's going to take off. This shit gets you dizzy. You feel goofy as shit. And I
Yeah,
understand kids, my bad, but I understand kids will grow into that and that'll
Yeah.
be like the new thing. But I think it's totally different from like the idea of a PC in your hand.
Yeah. I mean, I've been low key testing all that shit.
Yeah?
Yeah, I told you that. Like I had,
That's right.
yeah. I literally can't talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it now, but I'm not saying any names.
But first time, can you say your experience is cool or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I knew from the start of those tests that shit was next level, Minority Report style shit.
Yeah.
Because the tests they had me doing are like very. It's like, think Guitar Hero, right? When you're trying to sync up your notes with the playing on the screen, similar to that, but with a complete set of contraptions and watches and shit. And it's gonna be crazy.
See, I'm not interested.
I mean, I'm not interested either. Honestly, I don't care about none of that shit. I don't give a fuck about a lot of things. You ever thought about that? Like, sometimes you just think about something, you try to care, and you're like, I just don't give a fuck. I'm gonna just not care. Right? I don't give a fuck about this. What am I doing looking this shit up?
I will say, I got the PSVR helmet when I first played Resident Evil, though.
Yeah.
But this is where my mind is with it. Like, I get in it, and I'm not even like playing the game. I'm looking at cups like, oh, that shit is there, Poppy. Yo.
You're fascinated by the fucking being able to pick shit up. And...
Well, like the furniture, dog.
Yeah,
The game characters are waiting for me around the corner and shit.
Yeah. That shit is it's kind of crazy that we're there.
It is, but I just, after like 15 minutes, I'm like, get this shit off my face, bro. Get this shit out of here.
Trust me, I get it, because that's not something I'd see myself delving too hard into either. I'm good with what we have right now.
Yeah, I actually feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, because I ain't kids coming up in it, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like, I've played PS5 and that bugs me out. Like,
right.
Looking at it, I'm like, wow, kids are growing up with these graphics now. Like, what are they gonna get when they call this a piece of shit, you know?
They're gonna probably go backwards. 8-bit shit is gonna be crazy.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I feel like things are gonna revert. Like, I feel like even more people now, and I'm wrong.
I feel like maybe, not to cut you off, maybe gaming is not the industry that can get away with doing that. But I mean, how much more real can you get? You can't get more real than this.
Look at Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft blew the fuck up, and that's an 8-bit shitty looking building game, you know? So I wouldn't doubt it if platformers made a crazy commercial comeback, you know, or games that Super Meat Boy and, like, you know, Braid and puzzle games like Limbo and
games
shit.
Like that are fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, those games are eventually going to end up being what people want the most, because right now, plans that are being made by bigger companies is like they're trying to push out a shitload of games in 1 year. And it's fucking crazy, because you almost always have those problems where shit doesn't work or the games are broken, and it just pisses people off. So moving too quick, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta chill. I just think people want to be outside more too. At least I feel like
after a fucking pandemic,
Well, that's true.
I feel like people want to be connected more, even though we're still stuck in the fucking digital age and people are still awkward as shit.
I just thought about something. The last time we sat down, it was still the pandemic, like
the full blown.
It was August.
Yeah,
it was during August.
Everything was sanitized and shit.
Wow.
I dipped the mics in fucking Lysol before.
That's so bugged out that just happened. Now shit feels like it's back to normal, but this is an annoying mask shit. Like, I gotta wear my mask at my desk, and I'm vaccinated. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's a. People just can't get their shit straight with it, you know.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody that understands, like, well, at least tries to look at the correct places to get right science on it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just too much mixed messaging, you know.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't make sense. Like, you know, you're vaccinated, but which is true. You can still get it. Mm-hmm. It's just, you know, you're gonna get a lesser form of COVID. And it's not. A lot of people won't actually get severe complications.
Let's talk about 2020 and how that shit created a whole level of content, like a whole new level of content. Like, so many new YouTube channels popped up out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, because that's what everybody was doing, you know?
Yeah, they call them, like, I've seen several people refer to them as, like, COVID channels. Like, channels that in the last 8-9 months blown the fuck up 400, 500,000 subscribers. I'm like, what? Yeah. And a lot of that shit's true crime. Like, true crime shit is huge because of, like, fucking Netflix and How to Make a Murder. Like, that, I feel like that was that and Jinx. Yeah. I feel like that's what started the ball rolling with that shit becoming way more popular.
Getting everybody starting those different pages.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So now everybody's a fucking true crime fanatic.
I think that was definitely a new way that people started enjoying entertainment. Like, even like watching people on podcasts, but doing like through voice calls and like Zoom and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't mind that.
Yeah, people don't need
it shifted. I think it opened even a bigger market. Like, I remember even in comedy, like for open mics and shit, like we all did it online.
Yeah.
And it seems goofy because comedy should be in person.
Right.
Which is definitely 1,000% true.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't be online, bro.
Well, with the Metaverse,
yo, you Mark Zuckerberg.
you can create your own realm. Bring all your friends and never leave your home.
And just for you guys, we're actually in it right now.
Imagine.
This is the first podcast in the Metaverse.
Feels realistic, right? Wrong. we're like two wireframe. We are digital creations of Mario.
You pop up behind the camera. Hey guys, you thought that was Meta? You mean Marioverse?
That's fucked up. That's dark as shit.
What?
Like just thinking that that's a fucking whole game. Like this whole life is a game. That would make this life ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like if that was.
I watched this. You should watch it. It's called A Glitch in the Matrix.
I started watching that.
And it's just a documentary, and you see different people talking about the idea of simulation theory.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, some of that shit really made me go wow, because you start understanding how like different things like work with quantum mechanics and shit. Not that I understand it at all, but just the theories about it, and you start piecing them together. Even motherfucking neurologists and shit, how they found that like our brains make decisions before we do. And like, dude, even sometimes you could get asked a question and your brain will know the answer before you get asked.
Wow, what the fuck?
It doesn't even make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
So when you start,
this is one of those moments where I go, "What the fuck about looking this shit up? I don't give a fuck."
Yeah, but you see, what would be the more?
But it is
thing?
interesting. I'm interested. I'm intrigued by the whole discussion. But this is like when I'm home, yo. I'm gonna go watch this dude talk about a shootout in Texas. Fuck that. I'm gonna watch this hip hop beef shit.
This is the shit I look up though.
And I like it.
But what a more funny thing to understand if this is a simulation, bro, and you saying that. That's goofy. You know how I thought about that?
I knew I was gonna say that before you brought this podcast up.
I was watching. Yo, for real though.
Yo.
I was watching that documentary, bro, and I was pondering that shit, and like it hit me with ideas for jokes and shit. I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. I gotta write this down. And what made me laugh though was that I'm scratching my nuts while watching it. I'm like, yo, this is like really pondering. Like instead of scratching my head, I'm scratching my nuts. And I'm like, yo, this is a simulation. Because how funny is this?
You're fucking stupid.
It's true though.
Yo, that's funny. I don't know, man. Since we're gonna dial back because those moments you had right there, I know you were high as shit when you
No,
had
it was mad high, but I'm watching it. And I'm just thinking like, yo, bro, scratching. You know, you get one of those scratching.
you hit him with the.
You know, you get that super scratch, and I'm just pondering it. I'm like, instead of the thinking man, I'm the scratchy man.
The scratchy boy.
Yeah.
Yo, now listen, ever since I started partaking, you know, in cannabis activities, I've had some really funny moments where I just get stuck in those trains of thought, but it's just much more random. Like the other night, I forgot what I was watching. I was watching something on HBO, and I started thinking about that show, Midnight Mass. Like something triggered me to think about Midnight Mass, right? So I threw Midnight Mass on, and I'm like, bro, these motherfuckers are in a church with a whole vampire, and nobody.
I haven't seen it, so spoiler alert. You just spoiled it.
You know what? We're gonna cut that out completely. We're not even gonna talk about that.
We're gonna
leave
this.
No. You know what that show's about, though, right?
No, I haven't watched it.
All right. Well, they give
I
you
that director.
They give you that in the trailer, like.
Oh.
So.
All right. I gotta watch that though.
Yeah, but the next part I was gonna say was gonna be a spoiler. So.
All right. Yeah.
We're just gonna edit that shit out.
So simulation theory.
Nah, but for real, honestly, it kind of feels like I've yesterday one of my supervisors at my job, he brought up a thing of he was bringing up how the fifth dimension and fourth dimension and how shit is there but you just can't see it.
Yeah.
And how DMT is what opens up your mind to be able to see the shit that's like hidden in plain sight.
Tucked in between.
Right, and then he brought up how like when Christopher Columbus and his ships came, the Native Americans didn't even care because they couldn't comprehend what they were looking at. They just saw, they didn't even notice. They just thought they were, who knows what they thought.
Yeah.
He, like, there's writings of it, and like them pulling up to shore and them looking at them and just continuing what they're doing, like not even giving a shit because they just couldn't comprehend or care. Like, why does this matter? Like the idea of a threat or a visitor or any of that shit didn't even come into their minds. And that just reminds me of like this conversation. Like you can't even imagine the idea that there might be something else in this room because this is all you see.
Yeah.
Right? That's getting mad deep.
But it's really how certain things work though, and that's the bugged out thing to me. When you start understanding like these different ideas of prying into the nature of nature, it's fucking bugged out, dude. That simulation theory, one thing really got me, and this guy was talking about how like it seems like we could be running on ancient like an ancient system, one that doesn't have enough computation power to actually run 7 billion personalities.
Right.
And he goes, that's why like it makes sense that there's like 6 degrees of separation.
Right.
And when we really look into it, it's only like 4.3.
Yeah.
And he was like, because when you really meet people, we're all having like there's maybe 100,000 different experiences.
Right.
And we're all running on these different programs. So there isn't enough for all 7 billion experiences.
This is some Prometheus shit.
Yeah, it's
who
fucking
made us,
level.
motherfucker? I'm done.
It is next level, man. But interesting shit.
Yeah, nah.
Especially when you start, like I said, when you but when you start hearing about these different sciences, you're like, yo, what if this shit is a simulation?
What if it is? It makes some dope music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, does that make you think about specific things? Like in a simulation, how did this come about? If that was what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like if it was a simulation, how does different genres, like I can't even wrap my head around any of that. I can't even understand it.
Yeah, that makes me think like if whatever we're running on is the program. I've brought this up before on this podcast, but it always brings me back to it. Is this simulation based off of the programmer's art or experiences? You know what I'm saying? Because whenever you create a program or you create a game or you create anything, you're always implementing something different from a creative side and from what you know.
Right.
You know, so what if this shit is just like, is this all just a made up experience or what the fuck? What are we experiencing?
Bro, I don't know. I would hope that at some point in this whole process the answers become clear.
Yeah, and I get money.
Like they need to drop life spoilers the way they do Spider-Man, son. Yeah. Imagine you go on fucking Instagram and you hashtag life spoilers and it's like telling you Jesus is real. Evidence. You see him walking in the street.
Just walking on water.
Jesus seen on set. It should be
Jesus comes to Harlem.
Oh God.
That's a new play.
Have you seen that Spider-Man trailer?
Yeah, it was fucking
How did you feel about that?
I thought it was great. That shit got me amped up.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I love Spider-Man. So.
That's an opening night.
Yeah, for sure. That's
gonna,
a Thursday.
Yeah, that's a Thursday night, midnight, popcorn and Coke.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not fucking around. I'm seeing that.
Nah, for
you
sure.
You have to catch up with a lot of other shit that's been going on in that little universe.
Yeah, I gotta catch up. I just watched Shang-Chi, which I thought was good.
Yeah.
That was like one of the latest movies I watched.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually a good...
Shang-Chi was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was good.
I love
like
especially those fight scenes, like especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was like a very fucking old school drunken master.
Yeah,
type
it
shit.
was a like very Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like the wire work shit. Yeah,
Fucking
that was heavy in the beginning of the movie. I feel like a lot of the crazier effects were in the beginning of the movie. Like little scenes like that looked real dope.
It looked super cool in the beginning. Yeah. Later in the end, it just became very CGI, but still awesome.
Yeah, I would like to delve into that world one day. We'll see.
That'd be fucking right.
I'll probably be like 50, but fuck it.
Yeah. Yo, I think we'll end this shortly, but we also got something that we're gonna be working on, right?
Yeah.
Talking about creative.
Yeah, me and you have been asked.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, we just gotta make it happen. We're gonna do our own podcast. We're gonna cover everything from music to.
It's gonna be more of a, this podcast here. I like to do interviews and kind of have different subjects to speak about. Mm-hmm. Not sometimes current events, but it's more interview style.
Yeah.
With ours, I think it'll be more free, right?
Yeah. We're gonna be talking about everything. It's gonna be
current, weekly.
Yeah. I feel like that. I mean, especially with a schedule opening up. It's time to talk our shit, man. A lot of people have been asking about that, so fuck it. We can make it happen. I still live right there, so it's convenient.
It'll be awesome. That'd be something, because I want something like that where I could just come in and talk shit all the fucking time.
Yeah, man. I mean, I like podcasts where it's just a chill vibe. You know, like, I mean, you delve into a lot of real shit, and that's also
the point of it. I like talking to
exactly.
goofy
That's what you want.
And talk about real shit all the time, but with goofy motherfuckers.
Yeah. I don't even like. I need to get back in the podcast. Ever since this whole fucking Joe Budden shit happened, I haven't really been in it as much. I used to watch that all the time. When they broke up or whatever the fuck, I just stopped. Like, I didn't care no more. Like, the vibe is different. I don't even know those fucking guys.
Yeah, it did me too. I stopped watching it too once they got split.
Yeah, and other podcasts, I don't really watch. I hear them. You know, like, I mean, I'm talking about sitting down and watching, like, YouTube podcasts and shit like that. Like, I don't...
take it in if you're doing clips.
Yeah,
but...
I find myself just letting shit rock. Like, Adam22... Shout out to Albert, because Albert hates that motherfucker. Albert hates that motherfucker. But I'll just find that shit coming on. And it's not him. I don't fuck with him. It's more like I don't subscribe to his shit.
Yeah.
It's more like the people he has on, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, random ass people. Just as cool with him.
Yeah.
He seems cool. It's just the content sometimes is not I delve in and out.
Yeah, I keep up with I still keep up with Joe Rogan, fucking my friend's podcast and shit. Yeah. But it's weird. It has become a little less lately.
Yeah.
A little less listening.
I don't know why that is. It feels like the world's opening up, and that's when podcasts were thriving, right?
Yeah. People want to go back out.
But now it's winter, so we back on the bullshit.
Yeah, sir. Listen to us. So that's it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Pay attention for our shit, and thank you for listening, man. That was Jose Ortiz. Peace.
I look for tellable stories that are physically tellable, and from a plot point of view, that which is at least pliable.